All right. All right. All right. Mic all set up. Everything's good. So everybody that's in the Discord, make sure at work terraforming if you're here for the masterclass. There's also a stream, I'm pretty sure.
Make sure to join the server, everyone who is in here, to see the actual inside the actual server.
Okay. Yeah, let me make an announcement real quick. Referring to the one, plot one, then you'll go to the diamond plot over here with the big I or the one above it. Sound good? All right, okay. So I'm gonna start out at plot one real quick. I'm gonna cover everything and I'm gonna do a demo of probably an island or something. So the first plot right here, I kind of did I used slash convex or slash cell convex. And basically it's a selection type where you can select different points. Unlike cuboid, it won't make a cube. It will select different shapes. Usually, you can just set whatever selection that you have with like a different block, and it will select it to that block, and it will make like a different shape kind of thing. That's what I kind of did here. And then plot two, I went over with a I went over, more convex, made it a little, like add a little more triangles and different shapes in there to kind of set up what I wanted to do for the next one. And for the next one, I made cracks in, I kind of defined the different areas that I wanted to, do more work on, make cracks, erosion, uh, get the shape going. I also smoothed it down, and I just used a /BEB lift just to kind of go over it. Then for the next plot, I went over with a same kind of brush, but I took the gunpowder and I carved it, and I carved in some unique, just kind of cracks and different shapes in there. And this is kind of the base of what I want to do all my coloring and all of my detailing on. And then obviously for the next one, I smoothed it down and I added all the little details I wanted to do by hand. To the right, this is one of the things I wanted to kind of show off a little bit this year was the / Gmask hashtag, or pounds surface, right? It will basically make it so whatever I set will only affect the surface of whatever block I set. So D'Angelo, if you want to put the command in chat, the / Gmask surface.
Hey, I'm gonna actually put on Evan because it's kind of spamming, perhaps.
Yeah, there you go.
Podcast yet.
Get
I'm
that
just
one
gonna
right
put
there.
all the comments right now, actually. Okay, here. We will go to Evan Podcast. You will see most of the comments he will be using on the Masterclass.
Yeah, so I use that Gmask. So basically, whatever world edit I do, or I think it's voxel, it affects voxel as well. It will only affect the surface of whatever I'm using. So like if I were to do / replace 57 with 41, you can kind of see if I were to break the block right there, diamond is underneath it. So it's only a shell of gold I have going. This is pretty useful because if I were to just use like a cylinder command and then mask it to the 41 and turn my Gmask off, I could just affect the surface of it, getting some erosion in there. It's pretty nice. And then if I were to just replace it back to the 57, like that, you can kind of see that the shape stays, and it makes really nice erosion lines in the cliff. And that's what I kind of did with these lines here. So if we were to go to the next one right over here, this is 7. I just kind of did some overlays, and I used /B over D, simple stuff. And then I just kind of overlaid it with, where I'd put my grass. One of the most something that I have to always kind of say is that whenever you're terraforming, you have to be organized with your colors, what kind of colors you're using. Make sure you're organized with them. If you're just using 57 for the entire thing, it's going to be a lot more difficult to kind of know where you're putting everything, kind of, what I mean. I'll kind of explain it in the next plot right here. So in plot 8, I got a lot of all my colors set up, and I use /B blob. And the blob is selected onto the 57 with /VR, which means voxel replace, and it will basically, it basically is the voxel mask, whatever you're masking to. So if I were to /VR space 57, it would only affect 57. So that's how I can get the blobs onto the terrain. And when the blobs are all set, and you kind of, I usually like to put darker colors within cracks to kind of define them a little bit, but I usually set up everything using not the actual colors, because Voxel has a tough time using other like metadatas and stuff. And then for the next plot, I just replaced them to whatever I wanted. I went with darker colors inside of cracks to again define them a little bit more. I also colored inside of like the erosion that I set up, and those really give a more realistic look. And then obviously for the next one, I just added trees and bushes and grass. That's it. So that's kind of the basic idea. And if after BuildCon, if you want to look back on it, like look back on the plots I have set up, I'll have a download up tomorrow, hopefully, or tonight on Planet Minecraft. So you can always just go back to it, or watch this on YouTube, and then go right back to looking at all the commands I have set up. Same thing I do for all of this stuff, but I kind of want to skip right to the demo, because I think that's probably the best way to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about, instead of just kind of showing you a before after kind of thing. So if everybody wants to, let's see, and make sure everybody's at where I am. So if like a mod or somebody could TPL here, something like that. Trying to get everybody all in the same area. Yeah, just use /warp Terra1. Okay, looks like everybody's kind of here. So an idea that I wanted to make for like a demo was something like an island that's above the water, like an arch, something easy. But it would kind of prove my point of what I'm talking about. So what I'm doing is instead of using convex, I think I'm going to use just a regular selection, because it would be easier to make pillars this way, like pillars out of the water. And then I take that region I just made in the diamond, and I stack it up around, I'll test with it. I put it around 40. This is just an easy way to set up what I'm doing. And I just copied it, just so I don't have to make another one. Because these won't stay like this at all. These will be molded a lot. So it doesn't really matter what shape you really start with in this situation. Then I connect them with, again, the exact same thing that I was doing with selection. Stacked it up. Yeah, this right here doesn't even, it doesn't really look like a terraforming, right? Or any kind of land or island or whatever. Yeah. Also, you guys might want to stay back a little bit if I am doing like a lot of terraforming or something like that, because people will get stuck in the blocks. But yeah, the next kind of steps I'm probably going to be doing is using lift. And lift is a voxel brush that is pretty useful. It's like a pull, and this will kind of make it so I can make an arch out of these blocks, of these giant rectangles I made. I usually use /BE EB lift, but we don't have it on the server right now. But it doesn't really matter, honestly. Right now I'm using /BE lift, just the rougher version. /BEB lift is like a smoother version. It kind of auto smooths it. The the regular is pretty rough. Okay. Now I'm probably going to be smoothing this down real quick. Trying to get more of an organic shape with just my lift. You can kind of see that it doesn't really look like a just a bunch of big, just a giant cube anymore. A lot of terraforming is really just taking your time of molding each shape that you want, getting a basic shape and then detailing that shape down. Kind of like what people do with structure. You know, you get a basic kind of shape and then you make that shape not so basic. Right now I'm using, I think, a size 10. Yeah, I'm using a size 10 right now. No, I'm using a size 5, my bad. But it does, you know, take some time to mold the shape and, you know. With, do you mean like using basic shapes? So like, do you mean like taking a shape that I made already and then copy and pasting it and then editing them? You get what I mean? Oh yeah, it kind of matters whatever you're kind of going for, whatever works for you. I personally wouldn't do it because it doesn't take a lot of time to set up whatever I'm doing. So it really doesn't matter, you know. But if you're limited on time, then you could do it. But I personally don't do it.
Real quick, I wanted to say is that no matter the shape you use, it will never be the same. Also, the terrain for a little bit more realistic, giving it a little bit of depth. Advisable to use a little bit rougher brush instead of smooth one to make that feel of a depth and realistic look and such.
Using a smooth brush and then roughening it up with more better brushes. I don't think lift is the best brush for making something look realistic as just a basic shape. You know what I mean? Using like using more of like a smaller lift in carving out cracks and little details in the stone is a lot better than just spamming a lift brush.
Exactly. Also, Piggy Facebook also asked real quick that terraforming is like chiseling a statue of some kind. Yeah, it's kind of something like that. Doing a anatomy or something like that. You just shaping it at your will.
Yeah, terraforming is pretty similar to organics. You form out a shape of what you're doing, and then you really work on each kind of segment until you get what you really like, what you want. You know, it's heavily based on shaping, and it takes a lot of time to shape out everything. Right now, I am using just a BB brush, pretty easy. And this will just basically smooth out my really rough lift terrain. the gunpowder will lift it up a little bit, and that can be useful for you know uh, just lifting up certain areas that you want lifted up, without switching back to a lift. It can actually make some nice shapes on its own. And then I have this really straight line right here I don't really like. So I will switch back to my lift, because lift is a good way to push things back. You can also use melt right here. And then I made it not so straight. Because really, I don't like seeing straight lines like that whenever I'm making stuff. It really matters the situation, but right now I don't think it would look good. Okay. Yep, I'm just forming more of the shape here. Then I think I'm gonna do some more work on the top, because I want to make more of a flat kind of island, so I can have boats sail underneath, or I could put trees on top, kind of thing. So I'm gonna use /BE fill, and fill will pull it towards you or push it back. It'll kind of make more cubic, or like cubic kind of like edge, like it'll have a sharp edge on everything, whatever I'm using. Kind of see that right there. Then of course you want to smooth it down after that too. And I get these really straight edges here. I really don't like seeing these, so I usually push them back with fill, because those are, it happens when you smooth too much with BB. It just creates these really terrible looking, like 45-degree angles. I'm just not a fan of them. So I kind of got my basic shape going. This is the basic shape of an island, but like nature doesn't really have just rocks just like this, where there's no other rocks around, kind of thing. With because rocks obviously fall off of little islands, and this is obviously connected to something at one point. So I'm gonna do exactly what I did with the last one with these, and I'm gonna stack up again, and I'm gonna make some more rocks around it. And I'll go over the coloring once we get to the point where I can right here, because I like to get all the shaping done. I don't do coloring and shape something, color it, and then shape something else directly next to it, kind of thing. Okay. So believe it or not, these big like cubes are going to be rocks. You'll see. I'll show you. So I'm just going to go over them with a lift brush. This is a size 5 brush. And even though they look really rough and not the best, these can always be edited with BB. we go. This will be a big rock right here. Hey, so this is a pretty basic part right here. Any questions in the chat or anything? The biggest landscape I've ever done was, I think it was either the Volcano I posted back in 2015 or or the spider I did for this year's BuildCon. They're both pretty big. The Volcano took me around 7 months to make. But I'm using the same technique I used on the islands with these rocks. Just, basic B lift and BB commands. I'm going to do a lot of work on these right here because they don't look the best. They look kind of shaky. You know what I mean? They're just kind of, they feel like they'd fall over kind of in the water. So I do a lot of, hand smoothing with it. Because hand smoothing is probably one of the best ways to kind of get the detail you want and the really just high level detail. But it does take a lot of time. You can spend hours upon hours of just hand detailing. And a lot of people who do organics almost do everything by hand, just tons and tons of hand smoothing. See how it looks a little bit better. Then I'm probably going to do a little bit more rocks. So I'm probably just going to use BR Sphere, actually. BR Sphere. Just place some, spheres around here, and then these are going to be edited later to look like rocks. This is probably the first set of rocks. I'm probably going to do a few more, but with different colors. And I'm going to separate the colors into different masks. You can get a lot, better detail and just more detail and better coloring if you just separate them at the beginning. But you gotta be careful with, too much BB because you'll make those straight lines again. Yeah, you don't have to hand train but there are certain areas that you might have to hand train. When I was making the spider, there are details on the mountains that I had to hand terrain. The erosion, a lot of the erosion was done by hand, but it was first done with brushes. Yeah, the eye-catching parts. Don't focus on something if nobody's gonna see it, kind of thing. If you're making like a few small, tiny rocks on an edge of the map, don't put so much work into it, kind of thing. Focus on the pretty parts of the project right here. Yeah, use the tools to get a general shape. But, only really hand Terra if you want to put that effort into it, the extra, go the extra mile. Because it would take hours upon hours of hand smoothing, matters the project. The reason the Volcano took so long, well, a long time back, is because I did so much hand smoothing on it that I went overboard on it with just hand smoothing. But I shouldn't have. So for these rocks here, I'm placing the sphere and then I'm filling them in. And it'll get a chunkier kind of cubic look. It's pretty, they're nice to make, more kind of sharp stones and just one click with fill and it'll fill it. It's nice. I keep using the sill brush. I gotta turn that off. I'm using that on the wrong areas of the terrain. So I'm almost done with the rocks and small rocks on the bottom. Okay. Yeah, the rocks added good definition. And then I think I'm gonna do some work on the top now. Really cool command that I don't see often is /b over d1, but using it as a terraforming command. It's pretty cool. So I set my terrain to stone just real quick. It's temporary. I do /b over d. Do I have b over d? Hold on. B over D. Is that a thing? Should be a thing. I guess it's not a thing. Yeah, I tried B over D1. It's not working. Yeah, it's all right. There's other ways to do it. So back in the day when people would terraform, they used to use gravel and they used to make spheres of gravel and let it fall, and it would kind of make like these sharp kind of spikes. It's reminiscent of kind of the 2013, 2012 terraforming. The /b over d1 would basically do something like that, but it would raise the terrain up to a point if you kept lowering the brush. And it's pretty good for making spikes. Obviously, there's different ways to doing it. I don't know if the server has CS build commands, but the CS build spike is, oh, they do. That's cool. So /CS build spike, if you have in Haze craft scripts, are pretty awesome. And they really work well if you're looking down. I think I have my G mask on. Oh, I don't. Is this working? I don't think it's working. Oh, well, it did something. Okay, hold on. Let me get this real quick. See if that'll work. Yeah, that works. Okay. So CS build spike can be used as a alternative rock command. It can make rocks that aren't spheres. The shapes that they make aren't spheres, and it's without using making your own rocks and pasting them around. These see right here, this is basically a rock command. This is just from using CS build spike. I used to use this a long time ago as like a alternative, or BR rock. If you don't have BR rock, then this is a good way to do it. I know some people that don't have BR rock. So I like to put these in the terrain and then shape over them. And it definitely gives the terrain a more detailed kind of look. Let me put the command in the chat. So this is the command I'm doing for rocks. Then obviously I'm going to smooth over them, but I kind of like these over here. Now I'm going to start doing cracks in the rock. This is probably one of my favorite parts because it really makes the terrain come alive. So I make the terrains in rocks, or cracks in the rock, using /B lift. I'm using gunpowder. I'll use the shadow brush when I get to the coloring. But yeah, I usually I put those into the indents of the rock. That's what I'm doing right here. They look really rough and not the best right now. It's because they're not smooth down. Mainly because I actually haven't used it for yet. Tried it out. But yeah, these can be used to make really nice cracks. It's just the B lift size 1. Yeah, it's around one side of the terrain right here. But a lot of the time that it takes terraforming is making these cracks hand, just one by one. But once you get to the coloring, the cracks really are some of the best looking parts of the terrain right here. You get really defined, kind of erosion. Yeah, I think I'm just about done with the cracks, and once I'm done with the cracks, I'll probably go over with a small brush size of BB, and I click. I don't really recommend dragging, click and then drag. I like to just click once, but just regular intensity. Yeah, because it makes it either too smooth or it'll just leave too rough if you don't click close enough. Like if you don't click close enough together, you gotta get good spacing. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I probably missed one over here. I think it's too bare over here, so I'd have to go in with a crack and use B lift real quick. There. That looks a lot better. So is everybody kind of understanding what I'm talking about so far? Any questions? Again, this panel will probably be recorded, so you can always watch over it again. Hey, Knuckles, what's poppin', B? Hey, I missed your class, Knuckles. I really wish I could have been there, man. Unfortunately, I always have to have my I'm always online at night because of my work schedule. That's probably why my class is late. It was originally at 11. Yeah, I'll check that out on YouTube after. The Interior Master. Yeah, but I'm just going in by hand because honestly, hand terraforming is my favorite kind of terraforming. It's just like it takes the most time, but it's the most rewarding, honestly. It's just like organics. It's you do a lot of stuff by hand, but you do a lot of stuff by brushes. But yeah, do all the brush work before you can do all the hand work. Yeah, I think the shaping's just about done. I might want to make a few more. Yeah, it's a lot easier to control. You can make so many unique shapes that you can't do with voxel by hand. Not with voxel yet. You know, if they improve, you know, some of the aspects of voxel, then you should be able to. But so far, by hand is the most easiest way to get good control over what terrain you're making and where you're putting each block. Oh, it doesn't? Right. Yeah, voxel can't really get those peaks and mountains that well. It can't go those really specific one block details how you want it. Yeah. Just there's always new terraforming stuff coming out lately. The FAWE, I don't know if people call it FAW or whatever. They got some really good stuff. Like they got so much like new stuff to the community. Or I've been kind of exploring all that stuff too. I'm still pretty old school with how I make my terrain. I've been making terrain the same way for years. So I'm still trying to learn new stuff every day. So I think I'm gonna add some rocks, more rocks by the bottom. So it kind of looked like there's more rocks that have fallen off it because you know it was eroded by water. It's probably pretty unstable. So I'm gonna probably just use BR sphere and then smooth it. Actually, do you guys have FAWE? I'll just use BR rock. Yeah, I'll just use BR rock. So people that don't know BR rock, I'm sure everybody kind of knows it, but it's just BR rock. There. Just kind of going down in sizes. Using the smaller rocks can give like just like almost like using by hand. It's really close to using the hand because it's just really you can make just really tiny shapes. So it's pretty nice. So I think we're almost ready to color, but I want to make actually I think we're ready to color. I was debating on making a seafloor, but I don't think we have that kind of time. But yeah, that's what we got so far for shaping. I think it's pretty all right. To start out, do we have slash b over d at all? Slash b over d1. Don't think that's working. BR Dwayne Johnson. It's BR Rock. BRD1's like one of the best commands, Knuckles. Okay, let me get my document up. I'm gonna see if I have any other ways of doing this. A good idea for any people that are thinking about getting more into voxel and terraforming, it's a good idea to have a document of commands, useful commands, because I forget commands all the time. So having something like something like a notepad of all the different commands I can use is really useful. I can just copy and paste them. So I'm going to try out Gmask angle. This is what I'm using. It might not work, but if it does, that'll be pretty cool. And that will, the last number is basically how your blocks are going to be changing. It'll only affect the blocks above that, I'm pretty sure. It's either above or below it, but just going to try it out. So since I Gmasked it, did I set it? I don't think I set it. I just put it in chat. Yeah, okay. It looks like that'll work, but I'm going to change the last number because it's not enough grass. That looks all right. I'm going to go with that. Obviously, there's blocks under the arch that are going to be grass, but I don't want that. So I'm just going to mask, what the heck? Oh, I still have my Gmask. Do I? Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to mask it to that 41 and just kind of take it out, get rid of it. Maybe having that a little bit of it down there would be kind of cool. But honestly, I just want to only have the grass on top. It's difficult to control that command with, angles that are upside down, because I think it affects angles that are also upside down. So you get a lot of blocks you don't want. But it's great if you're using like a world painter terrain with no overhangs or anything. So that looks cool. I'm going to replace all the gold blocks near the bottom because they're not going to be grass. I'm going to replace them with a different block like so it will what? There. So that's a different block down there. So like I said, I'm organizing my blocks right now. Getting different coloring going. So now I'm gonna color my rocks. Play stone, grass or something and work. Clean it up. You could. Yeah, you could do that, but I think this way is easier because there's less blocks to clean up. But I'm gonna use /b blob if it would work. Is it working? There's some commands that aren't working. Yeah, my blob command's not working. blob. Looks like my blob command is not working on here. So I'll just I'll just use a sphere command. Just a simple sphere command, and I'm gonna see how it works. Just because my blob's not working, I love blob. That's my favorite tool. Let me try the blob command one more time. Okay. Yeah, I'll just use a sphere command. It's all cool. And I make the sphere command around the size of the stone because honestly, I should have just used the stone command and made those stones different colors. And it was a bad idea to use gold because I already used gold. There. And I'm going to be obviously fixing this up because having just blocks everywhere, just blue on just random rocks wouldn't really be good. I want blue on the stones that really stand out. I don't want it in the cracks on the stones and whatever. For the people that are new to building in general and don't really see the how people color with masks, we're not going to be keeping the blue and the gold and the emerald. So I think now I'm going to do the coloring in cracks. I'm going to use iron for that. If it would put iron. Come on. Okay. There we go. So this I'm just using a snipe command because that's what I do. I like the snipe command when I'm placing these because I can look not up close and just place it. And I voxel replace it onto 1. Okay, looks like those are almost done. Okay. Okay. So I think that's the best I'm going to be getting with the time that I have. I'm going to select one more time, make sure I have everything selected properly. And I'm going to go in, if I have my blob command, I go in there and place blobs everywhere. But I guess we're going to be using BR sphere, which is fine. I got to think of a block I haven't used though. There. Which is all right. Sphere is still a good command. Like, I know it's frowned upon to use sphere without any. I don't build an F5. If you're referring to the person that's streaming, I'm not the one streaming. Yeah, so pretty basic sphere command is masked onto stone. Then I think think I'm going to go with another one because you want to have multiple blocks when you're terraforming. You can't just have stone or cobble. What's a block I haven't used? I haven't used redstone block, right? Okay. I don't really use hashtag simple or pound simplex. Because I'm still experimenting with all the new ways to color because I was gone for a long time and then I just kind of came back recently. But I will be sure to check that one out. Okay, and then for I think we're almost done here. I'm gonna do one more block in there. It looks pretty all right for using sphere commands. 3. I'm gonna use dirt as a placeholder because why not? A tic-tac-toe sign. Okay, just about done. I just call it a hashtag. I don't know why. Okay. Let's now I'm gonna be replacing stuff. So I'm gonna replace my 42 to 159, 9, my gold to 2. My 174 to 1 gold 5. These are all just basic nice commands to use. Or nice colors to use. Then I might replace my clay, actually. So I usually like to pick colors that are similar to each other, but they aren't they aren't obviously the same. They have little shades, different shades. Then 133 clay. Then I got one more block. Let me try to find a block that I like. And don't be afraid to use blocks that are different. You know what I mean? Like if they're not, people like to use stone a lot. And that's fine. But there are other blocks out there to use, even if it's not realistic. It looks realistic. Yeah, I gotta do highlights. I might use clay. So I'm placing highlights on these, just light colors like that. Lighter colors on areas that stand out. And these are, the rocks on the middle kind of really stand out. So I think that looks pretty good. And I'm gonna put some grass on top. Oh, I can't use 31:1. Oh, that's not good. So I think I'll just probably put some leaves there. This. I'm using vanilla. I usually always use vanilla. But yeah, I think that looks done. It's the best I'm probably gonna get with the time that I have. So I think that's the end of the class. Remember that all the stuff that I made, all of the plots will stay here until I can use the block. Cool. All the stuff that I have, well, that's way too much. That's way too much. Oh yeah, we gotta put water around it, don't we? Let's skip the grass and just put water around it. Because it wouldn't be an island without water. But yeah, I'll keep all of these plots on here on the server, and I'll put a download link on Planet Minecraft tonight, hopefully.
Before ending the masterclass, there's some questions we answer.
Okay.
There's several. Yeah, not that much.
Okay. What kind of questions?
So someone asked if to use some type of blocks, is it useful to use any unordinary blocks?
Like what kind of ordinary blocks?
Not ordinary blocks, like
Oh, you can use like whatever really blocks you think would match. You can go, yeah, you can do whatever you want with coloring. You can. I've seen people use so many different random blocks. I use prismarine in the thing over here, this mountain. It just kind of works. It matches the color palette they have going. There's just like basically anything you have in your inventory you can kind of mess around with. Just use whatever thing that you think works. If it goes with the palette, whatever you like. Don't really focus on realism with block types. Just focus on what looks good. I've seen Udvio use mycelium, and I've never seen mycelium really used in coloring that much. But yeah, I think that's it for the class. Oh, yeah, that's my cat. Thanks.
Let me respond to this one real quick. Slash convex selection is just a selection. You can use the selection right real quick on. You use that selection just to kind of make shapes. Gabersid did a demonstration at first on the first plot with some type of shapes.
Yeah,
I use position, just keep on shaping however you want it.
Yeah, I usually use convex to make a first shape, and then I mold that shape into a more basic shape, and then I start working. But I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, just add me on Discord, and I'll talk to you about it, and I'll kind of answer whatever questions you have. Thanks for coming out, everybody, and I also apologize for the recent change in schedule for the masterclass. It was last night, but we moved it to tonight because a lot of people couldn't make it. So I hope everybody enjoyed and they learned something. If you have any questions, just hit me up on Discord.
Hold up.
And there's Qua.
I smell a new build. Rabba, have you been building?
What's up, Qua?
I just want to take before everyone leaves. I wanna talk about something. Gabersid been doing a lot of talking. I want to do some talking. First I gotta give my shout outs. Shout out to Decorated. Shout out to Dord and Cake for flying me out here today. Shout out to Rabba. Shout out to my man White. Shout out to Keva Tyrannosaurus Rex. And shout out to all these people up in this Discord and Twitch channel and the server right now that are listening to the One Quad Radio, One Quad Station, all day, every day, doing it live, on the fly, like we do. All right. Now, Rabba, I wanted to talk to you about something. Where'd he go? Oh, you're still here. Okay, I thought you left. Man, I want to talk about the past between you and me and what's went down. May I do so?
Yeah, sure. What's poppin'?
All right. First, I want to bounce back a hot second, everyone. We're going to do some freestyle raps in a minute, but I want to talk about Rabba, and we're going back to 2015, January 2015. I got to do some audio to make sure this works, but check it.
Nice. Next person, I'm sorry, but I don't know your name, but Gabersid, I feel bad. I think that's right, though. Can't Dorn. I think I'm pretty good with these names. I'm not sure. So please correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll try to get it if I ever mention you in a future video, which I probably will. But
did I pronounce your name right, Gabersid?
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
very
that
good.
that one video that you mentioned me in
Oh
a
yeah,
long time ago?
we doing
Uh,
it. I got some more stuff to say.
And so, what I really find is it's not that comment helped me a whole ton. It's
Sit, by the
just
way.
that building inspiration. I've tweeted at him a little bit, and I just find it really cool that he actually came back and checked out one of my projects, which I most definitely do appreciate. And it's just a cool thing that someone I'm looking up to has came and checked out one of my things, gave me a little bit of feedback. I believe he also gave me a diamond or a favorite or whatever y'all do on Planet Minecraft. I think he did both. So whatever he did, I do appreciate it, and also helps people. So them were my three main people. Shout out.
All right, so shout out to Gabersid. For those of you who don't know, Gabersid got me into the real building scene. There's the you want to build, and then there's you actually building now. He's gotten me pretty much any team I've gotten into. Shout out to Gabersid. Me and Gabe done a lot of stuff over the past many years. It's even got up to the point me and this dude ate tacos together. And I don't think any of you ate tacos with Gabersid. It's an honor to eat tacos with his man. So I wanted to bounce back to February of 2015, and I made a rap for him. Gabersid did some rap challenges. It said in the description, "What's up?" I was requested by Gabersid to make a freestyle rap. So here it is. So all the rapping I've done, that's from Gabersid, and that's why this dude's my manager. Let me play this, and we'll get into some stuff.
Here, special request from Gabersid. Gonna make this ill, gonna do what I do. Freestyle right off the dome, one take, you already know. Hey, you already know my name. One quote, I'ma hit you with the flow. Bang, bang, cash money. Yo, stole it from Lil Wayne, but he going insane. He ain't got no fame no more, cause he got his tonsils pulled. Hey, that's right, they gone. I took them out the equation by your mom. Hey, people always said that all the time, but I'm gonna spit a rhyme. You already know. Hey. This is my groove. I'ma tell you what, I'ma go what something about your butt. Ebola not again. I ain't gonna touch that again. Stop like Lil Wayne again. Hey, he repeats so many words. I'ma tell you what it be. He's so absurd. I don't like him no more, but he still got this song, and I listen lollipop. You already know. Hey, looking at Gabersid, got him on Skype with 100 quid. No, I never paid him nothing, but one day maybe gonna collab sometime and something. Ooh, I ain't gonna spoil. Let me tell you what, he said thanks for sharing. I was bouncing off ideas. I'ma hit you with the, ain't gonna say that here. That was mad disrespectful. I already know I have no brain, but you already know. Sound like an 8-year-old girl. Nah, really sound 13, going through puberty like he got no. Hey, my name's One Quad. Let me pause a second. Pretty cold where me and Gabe live. It's like -7. Oh, I got a bib. Need every piece of clothes I can get. Got my do-rag on, cause I ain't gonna quit this rap. Be real. That scared the crap out of me. Never heard this, but we gonna keep on going. Y'all excuse me, well I keep on going and flowing. My name is One Quad. Snoop Dogg is a big old hog. You already know he gon' flow through the door, knock you out on the floor. I'ma see yo when you wake up. Oh, coma, I hit you with my butt. One, when I walk, no, it ain't like that. I'm just talking. Let me tell you what I be. Got a nice server, even though 1 gig. Hope it off my computer. Hey, got that king, call it 1 millisecond. Well, I sing this shit for one while. You already know, got that new Drake ever released. Let's go. Hey, Valentine's Day, how they go? My mom got me some donuts and I dropped them on the floor. But they here somewhere I don't know. Probably next to my bed, cause I eat them all, yo. I never heard it pop either. I'ma tell you what, I'm gonna get a nice fever. Quiver, arrows, Hunger Games. Never heard no much about the video. I'm in movie anymore. Yo, keep saying flow, but I ain't gonna say no more. That didn't flow too well. I'ma cast a little spell like a witch from. Hey, yo, that was pretty ill. I'm going well. I just go and chill. Hey, life's going good. Got so many projects coming for you. All the wood, medieval. That's just all they had, but they got some metal. Like a crying baby, but I didn't go babysit. You already know. I decided I had to quit, so I came back and I did my thing. I'ma buy you a chicken wing. Always say the same things. You already know. When I walk into the door, I'ma flow on the flow. You already know. Go pro every day. You already know. Coco Paraday. My name is Wonka. Hit you with the end of the song. Twitter.com/Gabersid. Thanks for recommending this video. But I hope you know that I flow to the dough. It's gonna be it. You can already know. That's what I said. 9-hour day. Thanks, yeah, for sure. That's what he said. I thank y'all for making me all day. All right, so yeah, thanks y'all for watching. That actually turned
All right, we back. That's
Yeah,
Gabersid's rap.
that wasn't me rap. That was quite.
Nah, that was you, fam.
straight,
I can
that was
tell
straight
from
fire,
here.
though. That was straight fire. I remember that.
Yeah, we going, man, 2015, fam.
That was 2015 quad.
That was 2015 early.
He was spitting fire back in 2015.
Yeah. You know how it goes. We out here. Now I need to do a quick thing. I'll bring up the Twitch a second. But I need to gauge how many people in this masterclass. I found myself a monitor and a Chromebook. So I got them hooked up now so I can see for a little bit, temporary. So we're going to do this old school in the BuildCon chat and in the Twitch chat. I'm going to try doing both. So if you here, post in the general chat on Discord or in 1 second on the Twitch because I got to bring the channel back up. I was watching earlier while I was eating dinner. Okay. So I got Twitch up. So if you in the general chat or you the Twitch chat, post anything so I can see how many people we got. Don't matter what it is, I'll be on the lookout. I'll give y'all like 30 seconds to do that. And if we don't got enough of y'all, we'll just do a straight up freestyle. Qua can't read this. I can. Kev says, what's good? You got no idea what's happening. We're about to do a rap. I might as well explain while we waiting. MCBCon, Cake and Door, they flew me out so we could do BuildCon live this year. The unfortunate problems, I didn't have a computer because I left it. So I've been trying to operate off my phone and the microphone. So I've been doing everything off Twitter because that's easier for me to see on the phone. But now that I got a monitor for a little bit, we'll just do it old school. I'll get a beat in a second. We'll record it like usual. All right, if we only got the 3 of y'all, it ain't about to happen like that. So, I'll put these both on one of these monitors, and you're just gonna have to type fast, and I want to see them ranks flying up. All right, I got my recording software up. I'm gonna pick out a beat. Any recommendations for some faster rap beats? Not Rap God. We already got one of them. We got enough Eminem. But if you got a good beat that's on YouTube, royalty free, let me know.
They gotta be royalty free.
I mean, I'm gonna be posting. I don't care if it's royalty free. I've done too much stuff, but we gotta keep it on the down low. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Man, so how's Rabble been? How's Mr. Rabble been?
Pretty good. Busy.
You know, I ain't talked to y'all in like 8 hours. You know, that's okay. A lot can change in 8 hours, as you know. Man, I've done too many raps. I gotta find out something. This might be interesting. It's too chill. We're not chilling. We're flaming. Rap about anime. I'll try to put it in there. You see, you know, for the senpai, I know Kev does. I don't know if the other guys do. For the war, for the senpai, he just posted something. I don't know if he even posted it, but he posted something maybe like 2 years ago. It wasn't him, but it was this anime rapper, and it's the hottest fire flame. I forgot what the dude's name is, but it's the hottest flame.
If you're gonna be doing some rapping, we should probably move out of the masterclass room.
I mean, this is a masterclass, though.
Okay,
You know
fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I mean, we all here. Ain't no one else gonna go nowhere. All right, let's see how this is. What's with all these slow raps? Ooh. I'm breaking pop filters out here. Man, that ain't gonna work. No one can handle me. Gabe, I'm gonna have to get you making some beats again.
Oh.
You know, for real. I'm gonna have to pull one of them up. Maybe this will be good. Hey, you already.
That's loud, Qua.
Oh, it's loud. I can't hear nothing. Let me do an audio test a second, and then we'll get it right.
Okay.
Microphone test 86.55 all day, all the time when I'm going around. Hey. All right, let me see how that is. That's decent, I think. All right, so tell your friends and all them to get in here. PM every single person you ever met in your life. I want you to send out emails. We're gonna get this rap in here. So general chat on the Discord, Kev or whoever else is on Twitch, post whatever you want in there. I'll read them both, and I'll just try to get it. And whatever you say, I'm gonna try to throw it in the rhyme. Please keep it clean, because I'm a clean dude. So, yeah, let's get it. Wakwa, MCBCon, Gabersid's panel, you already know. Shout out to the homies, Ann Willis, Wyatt, all the dudes. The Croesus, yeah. Hey, Wakwa, slaying on them. Big game, big builds, all that stuff. Chickens and all that stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say it anyways, because that's what I do. Wakwa out here with his crew. Hey, let me get it. Wakwa anime is a sin. I say nah, but I just know I'm like DJ Khaled. I'll win every day, because that's how I get paid. Everyone, let's get it. Put something up in this chat where I spit it. I'm the hottest fire flame of the year. MCBCon 2018, leaving fears in every single child around the world, cause Cake is doing stuff you ain't never heard on the games we played earlier. Cards Against Humanity, that's what we did. Hey, Wakwa is reading everything, cause that's what I say, and I'm everything like Kanye Yeezus. I'm not gonna say that name, but I do that. A trooper is a Youper from the UP of Michigan, cause he not gonna say that either, cause I'm coming up with bad things in my head, but I got a filter and I like to eat bread every day. My aunt just made me some banana and coconut bread. I say yum, let me get that. Ate it for breakfast, cause I do every day with my crew. I go to the woo woo and get pulled over forever, but I never did that. I'm running around the streets and with a wombat in combat. Minecraft 1.9 PvP mechanics, cause I'm a mechanic and I slay everything all day, every day, any day. I still have a tater tot in my lunch from 5th grade. That's how you know I am not a maid. I do other stuff to get my money. Y'all think it's funny, but I ain't the Energizer Bunny. I'm another thing, something else, like the qua or the one qua, anything else but a bunny. It ain't funny, them the same words every day, cause it be so absurd. I might take a drink if this song lasts forever. That's a 20-hour rap, I said. However, I am going to add another clause. Let me add a pause, cause we ain't gonna say nothing that I can't say. This is real, it ain't no parody. I just gotta see what I'm gonna be. Today is quad day and happy birthday to not me, cause it's not is my birthday. It's platform talk about, cause I don't talk about the stuff about what's in my head. What you doing? Typing something, man? What you screwing around the message so that I can see it? But he ain't in this chat. I didn't realize that, but now I know. The best part of BuildCon is some whoa. I can't read a link, but I just gotta to the Twitch, cause I ain't gonna think all around every day, cause I'm wearing this crown. MC Builders Con, one quad con, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. What rhymes is every day? Every day, yeah. One quad nation, let's get it. I just dropped that, and we out here.
That was fire, Qua.
Everything I do. You know what I ate for breakfast? A burrito. It's fire. That was TMI. That was actually a lie too. You see, I'm rhyming everything. But I did eat a burrito before dinner. I went outside and I ate a burrito because you know me. We.
Okay, well,
I'm on.
I gotta get going. So
You don't have to get going nowhere.
I do.
No.
I do, Qua.
No,
I do.
no.
So I hope everybody enjoyed the class. That's still in the Discord, but yeah, the class has been over. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.
See you, Rebel. Okay. Seems we got a bunch of people here. I think that was Flame, but we ain't got enough people to keep this rap game going. I'm sure y'all catch me around. I might have another session or two left in me. We'll see though. So I appreciate y'all coming around for Rabbit's panel, staying afterwards. Wyatt, if you want to do a rap battle, I'm down, but we can't do that 10-minute stall like you did last year. It just ain't about to happen, but we'll have to meet up somewhere else and get some flame going. You know what I'm talking about. Wink, wink. Yeah. Anyways, thank y'all for coming. I'm deucing. Unless somebody has something else to say. Shout out to Cake. Shout out to Dord. They done a lot of stuff behind the scenes for this BuildCon. Setting everything up. It's a lot of work. I don't even know how much work they're doing, but it's more than I did. Anyways, we deucing. Bye.